Gay men of Reddit who've had sex with a woman, what was your experience? Not a gay man, but I overheard this exact conversation one at a gig. Small restaurant per bar, empty except for one table, 5 or 6 guys and 1 gallon. All theater grads, alumni at local performing arts university in town for some special event. Conversation went like this. Guy: you're not gonna believe what I did. Friends: what? Guy: I tried pussy. Friends: WTF? Are you serious? How? Guy: I was drinking with my friend and I was drunk and I was really horny and she was drunk and she was pretty horny. And what the hell? Why not? Friends: how was it? What did you think? Guy: pussy has ass beat all to hell and back again. Too bad it's attached to a goddamned woman. I was in the middle of a song but I about fell off of the stage. The gal tipped me a $20 on the way out the door. I gave it a shot out of curiosity. The biggest turn-off was the softness and gentleness, I guess. I like strong hands and muscle. It was like having sex with an elf or something. It was like having sex with an elf or something. Hot. That's me. I'm a straight guy who had sex with a gay woman. She threw up a few seconds after penetration. 3/10 would cuddle again. It's like having a stale store-brand cookie when you're used to eating homemade cookies fresh from the oven. It's still a cookie and was enjoyable to eat, but doesn't hold a candle to having sex with a guy. I had a friend in high school who was gay. She was really cool and shared the same group of friends as my ex. She graduated a year before me and I found out, through my ex, that she was pregnant. I was skeptical and asked how she managed that. Turns out she wanted to know what dick was like. She found out she didn't like, had a kid, and is raising said kid with another woman. They seem happy. Good for them. I had no desire towards girls, but I tried once when I was 16 because I thought you had to actually have sex with a girl to understand what was so great about it. And I did it and still didn't understand what was so great about it. It was kind of a chore, but on some level it was a little nice because she really seemed to be enjoying it. I thought maybe I was asexual or something. And then about a year after that I kissed a boy for the first time and I knew without a doubt that I wasn't asexual. In addition to this, gay men of Reddit who've had anal sex with women, how does it compare to anal sex with men? Overall pretty similar, but there are some differences. Girls are easier to move around since they are smaller and have bigger hips to grab, usually bigger butts as well, and overall a softer, gentler feel during sex. Guys have prostates that you can hit though, which is cool. Sex feels more gruff and manly, oddly enough. I was 23, about 1993. I thought it was possible I might be bi. Every week or so I'd go out to the saloon in Minneapolis to go dancing, and my friend Julie would be there, and we were always flirting. Julie was lesbian, and I was gay, so it was whatever. I did think she was hot, though. I understood that I always recognized women's beauty, and that I particularly loved black women. I'm white. So, anyway, I don't remember how we started talking about it, but we started talking about it, and after a few weeks, we straight made plans to go to her house and do the deed. Already, it was kind of awkward to pre-plan it like that. I remember it being 3 in the morning, and winter out. I was super nervous. We both smoked a little pot, and then go to it. We made out a little bit, and then I got on top of her, with a little instruction. Tried to go to town. I quickly realized I wasn't going to make her come with my dick, and this seemed completely normal to her. So, I right there gained an understanding about women's anatomy that I never had understood previously. We maneuvered so that she could touch herself while I her. I also remember that it was really ergonomically difficult to her in that my knees couldn't get any traction on her sheets. I had thought we would fit together like puzzle parts, cause of man, woman, evolution and all that. But we didn't fit together without a bit of very intentional struggle. It wasn't natural at all, compared to every guy I've ever been with. We kept at it. I wasn't into it. It was really like the softest experience ever. I really wanted her to grab onto me, but she would just kind of feather stoke my arm. And that was it. It was seriously a woman's touch. I kept trying to tell her to grab me, but she didn't seem to get it. She seemed to be getting off though. Although, there was much I didn't understand about that. I, however, was kind of lasting a long time. I was so glad I was wearing a condom. I really didn't want the flesh of my dick to be touching her insides. It just seemed wrong. I wanted it to end. So I literally closed my eyes and thought about guys. And that sped it up a bit. When I finally came, she seemed surprised by the physicality of my orgasm. I'm sure I look hilarious when I come, but guys know this about each other, and every guy I've been with loves it when I come, and vice versa. When I came, I have a distinct memory of her head jerking back and her eyes staring at me being all like whoa. It's actually really hilarious when I think about it now. I was so glad when it was over. We talked for a little bit, and I fell right asleep. Like I told her would happen. It was really late. When I woke up, I immediately had this I have to get out of here experience. So, I started getting dressed. She woke up, and we had a semi-awkward exchange. We made arrangements to meet later, but in my head right then I had to flee. When I got outside in the snow, I felt much better. Walked my ass home, took a shower. I was 100% certain I never wanted to do that again. It's interesting to me that I will now hear straight guys talking about how they sometimes will get with men. When I was young, I thought that was how I would be with women, but when I got with Julie it just felt so wrong to me. Like, this is unnatural. I went away from that experience just convinced that I wasn't bisexual at all. I was just 100% gay. And that was okay with me. Later when we commiserated about our dalliance, I tried to find out a little more about her orgasm. She assured me she came. I wanted her to give me the details about it, but I got struck by this idea that women are able to lie about their orgasms, and there was a possibility she wasn't telling me the truth to save face for me, and I'm not the kind of person who needs that. I was struck by how hurt I would have been if I found out she was lying to me. It would totally open up a can of worms. I was genuinely curious, but I didn't want to make it seem like it was super important for my own ego that I make her come. Like those straight guys that brag about how they can please a woman. I didn't want to seem like that. So, I just abandoned the line of questioning about her orgasm. It seemed like I walked into a minefield I had never understood before. Then she actually dropped a bomb on me. She thanked me, telling me that having sex with me was nice, and that the only other time she had been with a man was when she had been raped a couple years earlier, and that my having sex with her helped her to deal with her rape. I was flabbergasted. I just listened to her tell me this story, and tried to process it. It was difficult. And after that, we never really hung out again. She got a girlfriend, and a job, and I'd occasionally get messages from her, and see her out at stuff. But she dived into her relationship big time. It made me a little sad. But I moved to California, and life continued. Maybe I will go find her on FB now. First time I was 17. Did not enjoy kissing her, and barely did any foreplay. I could only do the actual intercourse for 5 minutes because I got bored and I couldn't stay hard. At the time, I told myself, oh, guess I'm just not that attracted to her. Second girl, we were both drunk, and I couldn't stay hard. Thought it was because I was drunk. We just cuddled instead. Third was my ex when I was 19. Tried going down on her first and only time I've ever done it and hated it, and I'm sure she hated it too. Lol. I think it was because of the emotional connection I was able to successfully stay hard and have sex with her continuously. Get off, but the sex was bad anyway, probably because I was a secret homo. I was unhappy in the relationship even though she was a beautiful, awesome woman. And the relationship only lasted a month or so. Tried sucking a dick not too long after we broke up and haven't gone back to women since. Pretty awful. First, let me say I grew up in a very religious area, so being gay wasn't even mentioned unless it was to say that all gay people die of AIDS and burn in hell because they chose to be that way. I didn't choose to be gay, so in my naive mind I was straight. I would date girls, but I was never sexually attracted to them. I thought I was, but never understood why other guys went absolutely nuts over women. I thought they were just overreacting. Kissing disgusted me and I couldn't understand why people liked it. Sex was even worse. Not only was it pretty difficult to get aroused, but I felt dirty and disgusting afterwards with a lot of guilt and shame. Probably how if a straight guy were to get by another guy would feel. I would avoid it whenever possible, which obviously makes the girl feel like shit. In my head I rationalized it as just not finding the right girl yet, but deep down I knew it was something else. Although I blocked that something else out of my mind. Thankfully I eventually moved away from the town I was raised in and slowly started to accept that I wasn't attracted to women at all, and that guys who I would find myself oddly and intensely attracted to for no reason weren't guys that I just admired, or wish I looked like. They were crushes. I felt extremely stupid for being so foolish for so long, but realized that's what religious brainwashing does to you. Heck, even in public high school we were taught that gay was a choice, it's not if anyone has any doubts, so it never crossed my mind I was gay. Once I accepted that about myself and started dating men, my entire world changed. I finally understood why people loved kissing and intimacy, and I was basically finally living the teenage and early 20s years I missed out on. Does a three-way count? I was with this amazing, kind bear of a guy. He was coaching me through his girlfriend. It was a symphony of pleasure. At the end I came inside of her. Whoops. My bud patted me on the back and congratulated me. It was different. They got your seed, Mr. Child Support Payment. Do they have to say no hetero after it? It was okay. I wasn't completely disgusted or anything like that. It didn't seem to dry out like a butt can do during a long session, so I guess it's more convenient. I'm pretty sure it was mediocre for both of us. I could only come when I was hitting it from behind. That should have been a sign, and she turned out to be a lesbian. This sounds like a situation where you have to reconnect and become best friends. We've been best friends since high school. We joke about it now that we turned each other gay. I had a gay ex-roommate who kept repeating it doesn't go dry. After dipping his toe in that pool, my girlfriend and I were terribly amused. My gay friend used to be there to take virginities of all our friends who just wanted to get it done with but not have to deal with emotional attachment. He said it was wet. Your gay friend is either a saint or not really gay, and thus a genius.